Ah, yes, yes, yes. You know, yes to the cornucopia. Yes is what it's all about. Saying yes, yes to love. And I was thinking as you were singing the song, yes, of course, say yes to love and get all the gifts. And a friend of mine got married some years ago to a woman who had 10 brothers and sisters. And so I said to the new mother-in-law, now you got another son. Where are you going to get some more love from? She says, oh, love just keeps expanding. I have no problem with that. Love is like, it just does that. You never run out. It's like spirit. You never run out. It's like infinity. You never run out of that. And that's what the cornucopia is all about. The cornu is all about the cornu is a horn, you know, and copia means plenty. So it's really the horn of plenty. And we live in this thing called life that is actually the horn of plenty. It's feast, it's plenitude, it's plethora. Plethora. That's such a fun word to say for me. So I'm going to do it again. Plethora. It's all about the abundance, right? The abundance. So as I was doing my look into the cornucopia and doing some discovery about it, I ran across something called the Mandela effect. Are you familiar with the Mandela effect? I wasn't, because I knew that he had not died in the 1990s. But apparently a lot of people believe that Nelson Mandela had died in prison, and it believed they'd even seen his funeral. So many people believe this that they coined a phrase for it called the Mandela effect. It's a collective false consciousness. It's like Fruit of the Loom. I'm not going to ask who wears Fruit of the Loom, but I'm assuming that everyone has seen the Fruit of the Loom logo. And we know what the cornucopia is, right? You've seen that on the table at Thanksgiving, the little horn with all the vegetables falling out of it, right? Is that not on the logo of Fruit of the Loom? No, it's not. Mandela effect, collective false memory. We think it's there, but it's not. And it's been fruit on a little table since 1893. That's a really old underwear. Throw it out. No, but they've changed the logo about 9 times, but it's never had the corn on there. It's never had the horn on there. That's the Mandela effect. Monopoly guy. The Monopoly man. Monocle? No, he doesn't wear a monocle. Collective false consciousness. Right. C-3PO. What's he made out of?
Aluminum. Titanium.
Well, but what's he look like he's made out of? Gold. Do you know he's got a silver leg? Right? But people think he's all out of gold. Collective false consciousness. You know what else is collective false consciousness? Lack and limitation. Lack and limitation, collective false consciousness. We fall into that, and it's just not the truth. It's a collective falsehood, my friends. We live in infinity, and infinity does not run out. Therefore, you do not run out of whatever it is you need. If you don't believe me, go to Costco. You know? And try to come out spending less than $100. I did that the other day. $82.45, but I forgot something. So I had to go back into the store. But it was a second go-round, so it didn't count. I got out for under $100. But this collective falsehood that we live under limits us and holds us back. But the universe wants us to have more. Dr. Holmes is so poetic when he talks about it. He says, the rose exists to express beauty. Roots and branch conspire with nature to give birth to blossom. This is the creative urge, and there is this creative urge in everything. Everything. All of us have this urge to express more. And the thing, there's so much always hidden in these quotes that I love. He's got that line, roots and branch. What are the roots? The roots are grounded in the soil that has got the rich nutrients. And we are grounded in life that has these rich nutrients. We dig our roots down in there, and then we branch out through our relationships with our friends, with our loved ones, with our job, with life itself. We branch out and we blossom when we do that. And this urge is within all of us. But for some of us, the urge seems to be to get stuff. Stuff. And I was thinking about stuff, so I had to go back and look at the George Carlin skit about stuff. Oh my God. I wanted to play it, but it's like 7 minutes long. So go home tonight and this afternoon and YouTube it, because he's absolutely hilarious. He lays it out there about how we are with our stuff, you know. He says, we got to have our stuff, you know, and you got your stuff in your pockets, and you got your stuff on your countertop, and you got your stuff in your car, and you got stuff in your glove box. You got stuff everywhere. And you got so much stuff that you have to put it in a place. And you know what that place is called? Your house. I love when he says that. You all over, it's this stuff with a roof on it. It's really great. He goes on and on talking about stuff. And he also mentions one of the biggest businesses in America today, the storage business. I'm thinking I should buy some stock and you store it or something, because we just love storing stuff. I have 3 storage places, and none of it has my stuff in it, but I'm paying for other people's stuff to be stored away. It's crazy how it works, you know. The hoarders are just amazing. They star in their own TV show, you know. Who knew? If you get enough stuff, you can get on TV. Right? And everybody wants to be on TV, right? And the other day, I'm at the traffic light. Coming out of my neighborhood, there's one of these lights that's just, I don't know, is the traffic engineers, do they work for PG&E? Because, you know, PG&E likes to short people electricity. And I'm thinking that, I know that's really rude. They're trying to be safe, but I think they're just mad. So they're cutting off people's power. Thank God we live in Southern California. But the bottom line is, about the traffic light. Back to that. That's where I was. Yes, the traffic light. It's so short, you know, and it's a long light. And if you don't go, you're done. And the other day, a shopping cart train was going by across the street. You know the shopping cart train, right? Like, you know, 5 shopping carts and one guy behind it pushing it. He's got one right here. He's got bags hanging off of it. He's been collecting in the neighborhood. You know, we all love stuff. Even if you don't have a roof to put your stuff over, you just get a shopping cart to put your stuff in. And if you get enough shopping carts, you're going to push those along. But the bottom line is, though, all these things, they only give us temporary relief. Temporary relief. I read an article the other day about the store called Forever 21. They got a gold mine working there. The average length of time a piece of clothing that's purchased in Forever 21 lasts is 9 months. 9 months. You buy something, and in 9 months, I think it expires or evaporates in your closet, or it tears up or something, because you got to go back and buy something again. 9 months? I mean, a McDonald's wrapper almost lasts that long. It's, that's just crazy. Things only provide temporary relief. Temporary relief. Frank Richelieu. Did any of you get to hear Frank Richelieu? Wow. Right? Beautiful, beautiful spirit, beautiful soul. He writes in his book, The Art of Being Yourself. He says, things distract our attention for a time, but if our real needs are not fulfilled, they will come back and gnaw at us like a deep, unsatisfied hunger. You can shop for all the things you want, and you're not going to get what you really need. You got to say yes to love. You got to step out into those intangibles. Step out into beauty, you know. Look out the window. And just like this morning, we were doing the morning prayer, and Dee had put up a meditation video that had the creek was flowing in the background and the birds were tweeting, you know. That's the kind of stuff that fills that unsatisfied hunger that gnaws at us. That the problem that's not happening for us is there's a truth that's desiring to be expressed through us always, and it's not a truth that is satisfied by things. In the Gospel of Thomas, they speak about this. It says, if you bring forth what is within you, what you bring forth will save you. If you do not bring forth what is within you, what you do not bring forth will destroy you. And the sad thing about that is we're not talking about destroy like death. We're talking about destroy like an emotional letdown, like a sadness that we can't get over, like just a heaviness about life. The kind of thing that as you get older, your face starts to do like this instead of like that, with the smile lines, they turn down instead of up, because you haven't fulfilled the joy that is within your heart to live the fullest experience of life that we possibly can. It's not about the things, but we have too much time spending thinking about the glass is half empty, too much half empty glass. It's half full, my friends. There was a minister, I forget where, I think he's from Kansas or someplace. He developed the no complaint pledge. Do you remember that was really popular for a while with the blue bands? You'd pop them every time you complain, or you'd have to, no, I think you had to change wrist with it or something like that. Yeah, that's what it was, change wrist with it. I remember that now because I broke so many of them. Changing the wrist back and forth, you know. But it was really great because what he was helping me understand is that consciousness will always win. It will always win. It's a principle. It will always win. It's like magnetized iron. You magnetize iron and you put something just close enough to it, it's there. Boom. It can't help itself. It's going to be pulled right to it. You demagnetize the iron, that iron can't even pick up a feather, right? Your consciousness is like that. When it's magnetized again about lack and limitation, it just pulls in there. But you switch that consciousness around and pull it into abundance, into the cornucopia of life, it pulls that into your experience. That's what the science of mind teaches. That's what we have to remind ourselves about. And it seems so simple, but every day something comes up. I mean, I'm saying you, but it's really me. Put on my favorite socks, and then I put my foot in, and my whole toe comes out through the hole. Darn, there's the day. And it's just a pair of socks. Stop. There's 150 pair in the drawer. But what was it? It was a thing. It wasn't satisfying me. What really satisfies me is when Johanna's cats are paying attention to the cat barrier, even though the cat barrier is not there. We got a little cat barrier between the bedroom and the rest of the house, because I don't like the fur in the bed. And yesterday, I was walking around so much, I didn't keep closing it in between. And little Shao, he was just stopping. He would walk up and he'd like, what are you doing in there? That's the yes to love. That was joy. I was like, hey, little buddy, and now he knows how to open it on his own. So it's like this engineering thing where I'm always trying to figure out, I'll put a weight around it. And he'll sit there and he'll look and, he put a weight there. Pulls the weight away, puts his paw underneath, pulls it open, and he's sitting on the other side. He doesn't come in the room completely. He just sits on the other side as if there's something special about being on the other side of the barrier. I'm in the room. There's no thing in the world that can fill up the heart the way a situation like that can fill the heart, This is the yes that we get to say yes to. Again, back to Richelieu. He says, we are all much more than we appear to be. We are capable of being more, of giving more. That capacity is within every one of us to be more. To be more. I was thinking about in the book, Frank talks about the Dr. Richelieu. Frank. I never got to call him Frank. Dr. Richelieu talks about the water bug. The ugly, clumsy water bug that lives its life down in the mud in murky, ooky water, right? Spends most of his time down there. I don't know what it's doing. I don't care. But every now and then, at some point in its life, this water bug will crawl out of that mud and glunk and climb up onto a rock and sit on that rock, and the sun begins to bake that water bug dry. And it's ugly already. But then its water buggishness is all dried up and it starts cracking. I know. Right? I mean, just thinking about skin cracking makes me hear my grandmother say, boy, get them ashy legs, get some lotion. Some lotion on them ashy legs. Some of y'all don't know what I'm talking about, ashy legs. But some of us know exactly what that's all about. You better get that butter, get that cocoa butter out there, baby. So the water bug, there it is. It's all cracking and everything. And then all of a sudden, if you look at it in the cracks, you start to see little gold and green and blue, and then it continues to dry and more cracking, and then it shakes and opens its wings up and lifts off as a dragonfly. That's what the water bug turns into, the dragonfly. Wow, right? That's within us. That's within us. When we get into water bug mode, and I know y'all get into water bug mode. We all get into water bug mode. Damn it. F it. Get miserable, right? But then that's just the moment. That's the moment to go to spirit, go to the bright light of the spirit and let it dry you out so you can crack that water bugness out and fly away like the beautiful dragonfly. That's our journey. That's opening us up to the cornucopia of life. That's what we get to do. Man. But and the rock that the water bug is on, we have that rock. That's our principle. The principle never changes. The rock doesn't move. The principle never changes. The law is the law. The love is the love. We have the love. We have the law. We can sit with those two and allow that to let us blossom and open up into the greatness that we are. Because see, there's energy in that thought. There's energy in the thought that I'm going to stay in this situation and I'm going to let the light of spirit inform me and let me know through me and live as me into a greater experience of me. That's what each of us gets to do, and there's no will that makes this happen. You don't will it. The thought is energetic. It just is energetic. It has energy in it. You have the energy in you. You don't have to will this. You don't have to force this. We just have to allow it to get out of the way of the divine circuit, as Emerson so clearly says. We have to open up to that cornicopia, to the abundant knowledge and wisdom that we have within us, and allow ourselves to shift our consciousness, to take a moment, to retool, because consciousness is the instrument that we have to use in life to make life better. It's the instrument that we come here each week to learn to fine-tune through this teaching. And when we learn to fine-tune that instrument, then we can play it really well. And the playing of the instrument is us preparing to let the higher self within us, to let it go, to let it experience all that it can be. Richelieu says, you can look at yourself in two ways. As finite and limited, as having to do and get everything the hard way, or as a daughter or son of infinite intelligence, living in a stately mansion called life, in which all the grandeur and beauty is there to behold. There are many mansions and rooms in my Father's house. I go to prepare a table for you. All these ancient teachings that tell us this exact right thing here. We live in a stately mansion. There was a practitioner at Founders, Charles Mansfield. What a sweetheart of a guy. You think Mazda dresses to the nines. You should see Charles Mansfield. Ooh, tangent. How come they say to the nines? No. Was it? Oh, I thought it was because of the...
29.
I thought it had to do with the concrete in all 9 yards, and we'll take the whole thing. But maybe it is tangent. I'm going to have to look at that one up. Help me with that one. I want to find it out. But Charles Mansfield, he was always so sparkling and so beautiful and dressed and just had this smile about him. And I'd always say, Charles, how you doing today? You remember Charles, don't you, Ruth? You remember Charles Mansfield at Founders? I did too. And you walk up to him and say, how you doing today? I'm doing great, because I have a rich father. And he always had a big bundle of money in his pocket. It was just an amazing, and such a sweetheart of a guy. I have a rich father. Y'all, we got a rich father and an abundant mother, and they both love to give us the gifts of the kingdom every single day. It's ours to choose. We don't have to do it the hard way. We don't have to see ourselves as finite and limited. We don't have to live that side of this quote. We get to live the bottom side of this quote and see the grandeur and the beauty that is everywhere to behold. To live in our dragonflyness as opposed to our water bugness. But it takes a change in consciousness. We must stay open-minded. And the open-mindedness is to trust spirit, is to know that there's something within us, because like I said, we're living in infinity, so there's a lot of ideas that we're not accessing right now because we have a finite experience of every single moment. But fortunately, each moment changes. right? And so it's not the things that are in the moment that we need to change. It's not the people that are in the moments that we need to change. It's not the circumstances of the moment that we need to change. It's simply our relationship to the moment that we get to change. And we can change that relationship, then like the magnet, we bring the good into our experience. It may take a little bit. It may take some time, but we can do this. Joseph Murphy, in that wonderful book, The Power of the Subconscious Mind, says, you have infinite riches within your reach. To gain them, all you have to do is open your mental eyes and behold the treasure house of infinity within you. And notice he says, not before you, within you. See, we have it within us. It's our natural way of being, but it gets sidetracked by the stuff. It gets sidetracked by the people. It gets sidetracked by the mood of the moment. It gets sidetracked by the daily experience of life, which is why we go into meditation, why we go into prayer, why we get still. And in that stillness, remember that all we have to do is say yes to love. The cornucopia is within you. It's harvest time. Take yours. And so it is. Okay, let's do this together. The horn of plenty sits upon the blessed table that is my life, a true cornucopia of peace, harmony, and good tidings. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Dee. All right, it is our time for prayer, where we're going to know the truth and open ourselves up to that cornucopia. And wherever there's been lack or limitation, where there's been a block in consciousness, we're going to remove that block right now. If you've had a situation in your life that has blocked you to your good, or something that just seems to just keep getting in the way, let's remove the obstacle right now through prayer. If you have a person in your life that you would like to lift their heart or lift their life up through prayer at this moment, I want you to speak that name or speak that condition into the room, and together we will collectively allow the universal law to move it into a higher experience for each of us. Let's do it now. Patricia. Safe travels for Johanna. Kapiris. Taking in that breath of spirit and recognizing that there is a divine presence that lives and moves and has its being as each and every one of us. There are those sweet words from all time. There is the confidence of a David that says, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. I shall not want. For he leadeth me to green pastures and still waters and the goodness of life. And so in this moment, I open our consciousness to that guidance, to that direction, to that openness, and knowing that it doesn't come from an outside source. God is everywhere present. God is within each and every one of us. It comes from within. It comes from that space where we listen and allow. And this moment we're listening and allowing the abundance of life to move forward, to bring more health and harmony to all those that we love dearly. And even those that we struggle to even like, we bring harmony and joy into their lives. If it's a relationship, it's healed right now. If it's a need for a job or right living situation, it is found right now. If it's about finding that perfect partner, in this very moment, that perfect partner is looking for you, and together we have now brought it together. We have magnetized that activity into the life of the experience of those that are looking at it. We know that whatever is taking place, if it's a broken heart or a grief moment, there is that love that is a protective salve, a soothing balm that brings peace and calm to those distressful moments and memories and thoughts. Wherever we turn, there's God. We turn within, turn without. God looking at God. The experience of the namaste is always happening for each and every one of us. And so because of this, and because of this truth, and because of the power of prayer and the consciousness that says yes to our good, I say thank you, Mother, Father, God. Thank you, Divine Presence. Thank you, Infinite Spirit, for bringing us this understanding of how prayer works in our lives and how our consciousness helps to shape our experience. We shape it now. We call it good and very good. I let it be, and so it is.
So it is.
you.